So the iPhone 10 is just one of those iPhones that I can't stop talking about. And I think it kind of comes down to the fact that this was probably one of the biggest changes physically from one iPhone to the other. But a very interesting thing kind of came out a couple weeks ago, probably more like 2 months ago. And it actually kind of made me think about why Apple decided to kind of drop support of the iPhone 10, 8, and 8 Plus. Here's the thing. So we all know every single year when a new version of software comes out, Apple will go through and basically, kind of like eliminate some older iPhones. They don't do that every year, but for the past 2 years, they've done this every single time, which I think is very, very strange. I felt like they could have just kind of stopped. They could have given the iPhone 10 iOS 17, whatever, right? But the thing here, and the very interesting thing, is that a new feature, or not really a feature, a new thing is going to be implemented within these iPhones, which is going to be side loading. Now, why is this even relevant with the iPhone 10? Well, if you remember, there was a jailbreak that came out, and jailbreaking basically gives us access to our phones, like basically it just gives us like root access to our phones. There was a jailbreak that came out, which was the checkra jailbreak that was basically supported on so many iPhones. Like I'm talking, it was a huge exploit from like the iPhone like 5, 5S to like the iPhone 10, which is a crazy thing to kind of think about. And it was in a limited jailbreak. You can basically jailbreak any version of software for the most part. It was like a hardware jailbreak. But I think what Apple wanted to do was basically eliminate that iPhone as fast as possible and get that out of the production so they can kind of focus on iPhones that are, outside of the check range jailbreak scope. I think that was a very big issue, and I think legally they probably were going to get into some problems. I'm not 100% too sure, but because of that type of hardware issue, I think Apple wanted to kind of just speed run those iPhones out of existence in terms of iOS, and then kind of go into like iOS 17 with kind of a new mindset. And then this side loading thing happened. How ironic is it that side loading, which was, one of the features that you got within jailbreaking if you wanted to install your own IPA files, how funny is it that that iPhone 10 is probably not going to be getting this type of feature, at least natively. It had this feature within those jailbreaks, but it did not have these features in terms of the actual official support from Apple. So I find it very interesting that Apple did that. So there are so many things that I was thinking about when I was looking at something like the iPhone 10, and I was looking at why they ended up removing it so early, why they didn't keep it around. I do understand they're still giving us iOS 16 support on this thing, but I do think when it comes down to it, I think it's kind of an interesting thing that kind of ended up happening with the iPhone 10, that it ended up getting removed so fast. And I think it basically comes down to two things. One, that check range jailbreak, and I think two, because of that sideloading application, sideloading stuff, I think Apple wanted to get rid of it and then basically, get people to go and upgrade to the next series. And then if they have to give sideloading, then they will, but at least it's a smaller pool of iPhones that they have to give the sideloading capability to. So I think that's kind of what it is. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.